Prostitution not an offence. Adult woman has right to choose her vocation. Bombay High Court orders release of 3 sex workers from corrective institution.
Here's a summary of the article.
While observing that prostitution has not been made an offence under Immoral Traffic Act, 1956 and that an adult woman has the right to choose her vocation and cannot be detained without her consent, the Bombay High Court on Thursday set free 3 sex workers from the corrective institution. Further, the magistrate declined custody of the victims to their mothers as the victims were found involved in sex work having age group of 20 to 22 years. The parents of the victims were aware that the victims are engaged in prostitution, meaning thereby, the parents themselves are allowing to indulge in prostitution as a profession for their daughters, and the learned magistrate observed that it would not be safe to hand over the custody of the victims to their mothers. The record does not reveal nor there is a charge against the victims, petitioners that they were indulged in prostitution. It is equally important to note that the petitioner victims are major and have a right to reside at the place of their choice, to move freely throughout the territory of India and to choose their own vocation as enshrined in Part 3 of Fundamental Rights of the Constitution of India. The court also said that the victims cannot be subjected to unnecessary detention contrary to their wish and should be asked to reside in the corrective institution. It may be noted that dismissing an anticipatory bail moved by a brothel owner, the Calcutta High Court has recently reiterated that sex workers exploited for commercial sex are victims and they should not be arrested in course of investigation under the Immoral Traffic Act, 1956 unless materials on record suggest that they were involved as co-conspirators in the crime.
This post received a score of 8,300, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I read further. The prostitutes are from the Bedia tribe of outcasts and sell their daughters and sisters into prostitution, slavery at puberty. The tribe has a big feast and auctions her to highest bidder. The girls are then kept in brothels and all money sent back to the men. This is a complicated situation. Yes, the court said women can be prostitutes but doesn't stop the sex slavery. These women are not allowed to quit and marry either. They are trapped. Best part is they get sold and do this without truly consenting to it, and then Popo arrests them for it too. Can't catch a break at all.
Prostitution can be seen as empowering only if you have freedom to choose if you want to do it or not. The problem in countries like India and Nepal are that women are sold to pimps or are forced to enter into prostitution. They have no choice. Parents sell their children in many cases for money. How is it going to stop after legalizing prostitution?
Legalize sex work. Literally no one gives a shit about this.
Not at all accurate. There is a large subset, the religious, that feel it is their duty to legislate morality.
All the crimes associated with prostitution are done by pimps and johns. There is nothing criminal in the behavior of the prostitutes.
Clearly there is in this case. Maybe the law is different where you live.
Yeah, maybe instead of crimes, he meant to say behavior that should be criminalized.
The oldest profession would not exist if there were not a huge demand, and always will be.
Greater than the oldest profession, technically a subset of the oldest profession, sales.
You should watch the study where they teach monkeys how to use money.
If you legalized and regulated, you could probably also make a huge dent in human trafficking.
A statement even more progressive than from any European country. The only problem is the concept of choosing, since oftentimes women don't get to choose prostitution.
Which is trafficking. Sex work is just sex work and should be legal. Trafficking isn't and shouldn't.
Indeed, not being able to differentiate between sex work and sex trafficking is like not being able to differentiate between consensual sex and rape.
I guess that if I'd go, it wouldn't be obvious to me that this person does the job because she wanted to do it or because she got forced to do it. Drug addiction would probably be the main cause of a forced reason to become a prostitute. If you believe that this drug addict could have chosen another job, especially considering her environment, then I think that you are wrong. It really boils down to the fact, do you have a choice or not?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.